Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at BellisioFoods.com/careers.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Well, happy Monday. Hayden, will you turn those lights on, please? How y'all doing? Happy Monday. It is a hot one out there, Pete.
Okay, right. If you like hot weather, you're going to get your fill of it this week. That's what the weatherman says.
Yes, let's all pray that you all have a pool or some air conditioning to jump into or something.
Right. The pool should do very well.
Yes. The only pool I have is my corgi's pool.
Oh,
at my house.
For the dog, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, the dog.
She enjoys it.
The dog will be happy.
Yes, she
What's
loves
What's the dog's name?
Olive.
Olive. What a nice name.
Yes.
That's right.
She's a hoot.
Okay. All
to
right.
say the least. Funny little dog. But anyway, Pete is here to talk about some news, and as always, some good, some bad. But there's always news, nonetheless, that Pete is full of on Monday mornings.
Right. There's always things to talk about, and we will start off with a sad news story.
Oh no!
Unfortunately,
okay.
On Friday afternoon, a teenager who lives in Vinton County, a New Plymouth address. His name was Mason White, only 18 years old, was killed in a single vehicle motorcycle crash in Vinton County.
Oh, no.
This, according to the Ohio State Highway Patrol, and this story, by the way, is already posted on our website, thetelegrambnews.com, and of course will be in our print edition, which we'll say a little bit more about later, because that's a little bit of news too from the news givers. But this crash occurred at 4:33 p.m. Friday on State Route 56, 4 miles east of the Hocking County line, way up on the north end of Vinton County, near Old Man's Cave and like that, in that area. And Mason was operating his motorcycle on State Route 56, failed to negotiate a curve, traveled off the right side of the roadway, struck a mailbox and ditch, and then overturned several times. Obviously very nasty. The young man, unfortunately, was declared dead at the scene. Yeah. And so Mason White, age 18, killed in a single vehicle motorcycle wreck on State Route 56 in Vinton County. Now, speaking of Vinton County and crashes, we don't have any details on this, but we have received reliable information from an eyewitness that there is a major crash now that is being investigated that just occurred this morning, probably less than half hour ago, 45 minutes ago, on State Route, on U.S. Route 50, just west of Vinton County, about a mile outside of MacArthur towards the west. We understand more than one vehicle involved, maybe a mower, a riding mower involved perhaps in this one.
Oh.
And we know that emergency service agencies have arrived on the scene. The Highway Patrol, the Vinton County Sheriff's Office, the MacArthur Fire Department. Once again, we've not received any information since it's very recent on whether the highway is blocked. Wouldn't be surprised if it is, but anyway, we will be following up on that. But as much as anything else, traffic advisory or whatever, be aware that there may be some traffic restrictions or even closures as a result of that. Of course, U.S. Route 50, very busy road for Vinton Countyans and people passing through east to west there.
You know, it's summer. There's just, for some reason, some odd accidents happen in the summer. I guess people are out and about more.
Right, absolutely. All right, a good news story. We'll switch to the good news story. I tell you what, we are always talking about progress and good things happening at the Buckeye Hills Career Center. Well, they have another one that is a little eye-popping when you talk about the money. Hayden Jarvis has just put up an architectural sketch of what a new building at the Buckeye Hills Career Center will look like. That is a community innovation center. That is what it's going to be called.
Wow.
Get this. The state of Ohio has awarded the Buckeye Hills Career Center $10.5 million
Whoa.
to build this. Now, there was not information on whether there's any match monies or any other monies available. I don't know whether the $10.5 million is all through construction, because there's equipping and other things that, go with a new building. But regardless, $10.5 million. And this was announced last week by Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, Lieutenant Governor John Husted, and the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission. Of course, that agency is the one, that we heard so much about 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when all the new schools were built around Ohio. And, it's still working and doing things. And money is going through it to the Buckeye Hills Career Center for this building. And we know that there has been, from the DeWine administration and the state of Ohio, a real commitment towards vocational education and the linkage between education and jobs. And educating people, training people to go from school right into a job where there are openings and there are good jobs available on the vocational / technical side. But the Innovation Center will house, develop, and expand upon multiple and existing and new healthcare science pathways. That's the way they put it. Once it is built, and I don't have a construction schedule, the new facility will be utilized as a health science incubator by public and private partners. It will provide free community access, so it's just not for the students, for job programming, as a job programming site with educational supports, and it will offer, in addition to that, free and reduced health care services while accepting Medicaid, Medicare to community members and school members alike.
Wow.
Ultimately, this project, the goal is to eliminate disparities across the area by adding dedicated space through work search and career counseling, a pediatric and adult dentistry office, along with physical and behavioral health services. This is through a sub-program called the Appalachian Community Innovation Centers Program, and it is targeted towards helping areas of Appalachia catch up to the rest of the state in needs. And so you not only have a jobs training center here, but you have services, medical services, dentistry services coming out of there.
Amazing.
We know that, we hear it, until we're numb with it, about our area being medically unserved. Also dentistry, optometric, et cetera. Well, this center will address that, and it will, like I say, it's on both sides of the equation. It's to help the students, to give the students another career pathway, as the way they like to say it, as well as providing services.
Wow.
And here's another thing that's kind of a continuation on the thing that has occurred to me, I'm sure to lots of other people. When local kids are able to get this type of training and education, and they've grown up here, they're more likely to maybe work here.
Sure.
Exactly. Yeah. And so this was very big news coming out of Columbus and out of the Buckeye Hills Career Center.
Look at us having Columbus know who we are down here. This is awesome.
Yeah, Jamie Nash, in addition to Governor DeWine and the state putting out a news release, there was a related news release put out by the Buckeye Hills Career Center, and the superintendent of the Buckeye Hills Career Center, the ever progressive and enthusiastic Jamie Nash, had this quote: "The award-winning Buckeye Hills Career Center has served the communities of Gallia, Jackson, and Vinton counties for almost 50 years. We know learning means doing. We provide hands-on training for in-demand jobs so our students can get to work and use their skills to change the world. From high school to adult education, our students are prepared to face any challenge that lies ahead. At Buckeye Hills, we work hard, think big, and find a way, because in Southeast Ohio, it is what we do. So, obviously he is excited about it too. And remember, we had a groundbreaking for another building at the Buckeye Hills Career Center not all that long ago, several months ago. Red Thompson, I think, was down there to cover that. It was very big. So good news for the Buckeye Hills Career Center.
Doing
and
great things.
And for residents as well as the students and the school. All right. Probably the story in the last week that has gained the most attention by far is not about a new big $10.5 million building or even a tragic fatality. It is about a roaming black bear. I know that you and Jeremiah addressed this because it was all over Facebook. There is the famous black bear.
Look at him. How cute.
Right. Now, a black bear very similar to that. You remember about a year ago made the rounds too. And this is almost identical situation.
Yeah.
The bear is spotted first, causes a little bit of a stir, and there's probably raised eyebrows. Is there really a bear?
Yeah.
But then other reports surface. People actually see it. It's on trail cameras. It's on surveillance. It's crossing the road or whatever. And this bear, actually, we know you're a resident of Standpipe Road.
Yes.
It's possible, based on, we don't have a bear map to show you to show you its path, but it was on both ends of Standpipe Road, and so who knows? It may have passed the Ratcliffe property.
I mean, maybe he was hanging out in my barn. I don't know.
But this is, we talked to Wildlife Officer Ted Witham about this, and Ted, he was frank. He was rooting for the bear to cross the county line.
Yeah.
Because, he already has...
Bear, but go.
He already has a lot to do. Well, I guess if you're thinking along those lines, the last report we had of the bear, and I know that, this, if we have some viewers and listeners, this may prompt some responses. The last known report of the bear was Thursday evening at the intersection of Standpipe Road and U.S. Route 35.
Maybe he was trying to hitchhike.
Right. Now, that came from the State Highway Patrol, and Ted Witham received that word from the patrol. He did not know whether the troopers saw the bear or somebody reported to the patrol that they saw the bear.
They saw the bear.
But
well, the highway is not a good place for anybody for the bear to be, so hopefully he moved on.
Well, I tell you what, the bear is getting its exercise because in the period from Sunday evening through Thursday evening, because we told you, the last reported sighting, the bear has been seen 6 or 7 times. But the different places that it's been seen, first, it was on Lunsford Road and Caves Road. Now, that is 2 small roads that are just west of Jackson off U.S. Route 35, just, a couple miles outside
like out
town.
by Canner's Cave, right?
Right. The bear was seen, I think this was on surveillance. It wasn't, seen by an eyewitness, but it was on surveillance coming out of a chicken coop on one of those properties. Now, we understand the chickens all survived, maybe not the eggs. I'm not sure. That was kind of unknown, but it was seen in or coming out of a chicken coop.
He's a friendly bear.
Right. Then the bear, the next report was Tuesday and Wednesday. So the bear was not seen on Monday, according to this, but it occurred farther west, a number of miles actually, on Umblery Road, Beaver Pike, and Cove Road. They're kind of like a succession of viewings there. I know on Cove Road it was seen on a person's front porch on a surveillance camera. And I actually...
How would you like to pull that up and have a bear looking at you?
I actually saw the video on that, and it's only like 2 or 3 seconds long, and you don't see the whole bear, but you see the back 2/3, and that's definitely what it was. But then the bear moved eastward, and it was seen on Thursday. Several times. First, behind the Mark Porter Ford Auto dealership. So this is 6-7 miles down the road to the east of where it was seen those other places that we just mentioned, because that's at State Route 32 and Mayu Road. And then it moved there, kind of going eastwardly to Robin Hill, Lane, which is in the city, but it's really kind of outside the
Which
city.
he had to have crossed a 4-lane highway then
Correct.
at some point.
Right, and State Route 32 is
It's
busy.
busy.
Right, it is. But it was seen by. I've talked to 2 different residents on Robin Hill Lane where it was seen. Paul Haller actually saw it cross his driveway. County Commissioner Paul
Yeah.
Haller. And then it stopped to get a drink at Paul's Pond. But then the dogs that Paul has got it stirred up, and it kind of took off from there. So it didn't get a very long drink. But I also talked to Vi Ross, who lives on Robin Hill Lane, and she saw it as well.
Okay.
And there may have been others that saw it there on that road or nearby. And that is, if you don't know where Robin Hill Lane is, even though it's part of the city, it was kind of annexed some time ago when that subdivision was developed, but it's actually kind of outside the city proper, just off 4 Mile Road.
Well, it makes sense that he ended up on Standpipe then, because he
Exactly.
just keeps going east.
Right, and then he was seen at Standpipe Road, kind of on the end where 93 and Standpipe Road are, because Standpipe Road connects State Route 93 and U.S. Route 35. I don't know, 2 or 3 miles long. But then the next time it was seen was on the other end. By the way, the picture that we showed, I want to thank her for that. Dr. Marcy Shepard posted several pictures on Facebook, and she allowed me to use. That was the best picture that I saw. I did have a couple video clips, but like I say, it was the back end of the bear. So,
Wrong end.
Right, the wrong end of the bear. So
He just looks so pleasant in
Right,
the
so-
pictures. He's just like, hey.
So we in the way of follow up, if anybody out there, who's listening to, our news report now, or can hear us on the radio, or seen the story in the newspaper, which by the way got a lot of response, and our reports on the radio. If the bear has been seen again, and especially if you have any kind of proof, picture or whatever, or a video, please let us know so we can let everybody know whether the bear has made its way out of Jackson County.
He's moved.
We're guessing maybe that it has. Same thing happened last year with last year's bear. Seen several places, and then you didn't hear any more about it. And the curious thing about it, Jennifer, is last year, I don't know whether you remember this, the last place it was seen last year was on Standpipe Road.
Is there like a bear bus or something that stops and picks him up there at the corner?
I don't know,
The
but
intersection?
but for those kind of with a
Weird.
questioning nature, what is a bear doing here? First of all, Ted Witham wants to. Our wildlife officer wants to confirm and verify that there are no resident black bears in Jackson County. Now, he can't say that absolutely, but he believes that there are not. You always see the one bear, and he's almost sure it's the same bear. But what's happening is there is a bear coming out of West Virginia or Kentucky. This is his speculation, but it's educated speculation. Swims the river, doesn't use the bridge, swims the river from either West Virginia or Kentucky, and it is a young male bear where mama has said, it's time for you to be on your own.
Move on, buddy.
Get out of here.
Yep.
And so the bear is looking for new territory, probably looking for a female bear as well because of biology. And what happens is it moves into an area where there are no bears, and so other than being on the move and trying to get some food, it's probably going to keep moving and will probably end up back in West Virginia or Kentucky or maybe Pennsylvania, where there actually are resident bears.
And it's like, I don't feel like people are like feeling menace toward this bear. I think they're taking pictures and stuff because it's cool to see that, but he doesn't look like he's hurting anyone. I mean, he didn't even hurt the chickens that were. I mean, he could have done all kind of things.
The 2023 bear and the 2024 bear, according to the information I've received, there's been no reports of damage. There's been no reports of the bear being hostile when it has been seen.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact, it
moving.
kind of vamooses. They're not looking to cause any trouble. They are wild animals. It is not very good if you see the bear to run at it to get that picture or whatever, because this is a wild animal that probably could hurt you.
Respect the bear.
Could hurt you if it had to. But what you can do, this is probably better late than never advice, is just don't have garbage that's out available, certainly that's not secured. Food sources where have food out maybe through your own animals or whatever. If a bear's in the area, you might want to cover that up because the bear
That's what we
the
did.
bear is probably hungry.
We just
Bird feeders even he'll go after a
Yes,
bird feeder
for
if it's
sure.
low hanging.
we that's what we did. We just closed all our garage doors and made sure that the kitty food was in and all that stuff, and just nothing to entice him to come to our house, right?
Right, because when
That's
from
it.
from the other areas we see these cute videos where bears will camp out on porches. They'll get into swimming pools. I've even saw a bear get in a hammock. So
They're cute.
yeah, they are, and they're not dangerous as long as you give them a
Just
wide berth.
respect the bear.
All right, we'll go now from bears to elephants. How's that?
Elephants.
Well, not really the Republican type elephants.
Oh, I got you.
I got you.
I'm like, what?
Okay. Well, last Thursday evening, it was the big coming out party for the Jackson County Republican Party. It is their Lincoln Day dinner. I can remember when the Lincoln Day dinner was often held in the spring. The last several years, it's been in the summer, and they had it last Thursday evening at the Parks Edge Event Center. And Bren Stepp, who is the new, just last April, she was appointed the Central Committee chairman for the Republican Party. She was kind of the host and MC. And at the Parks Edge Event Center, I covered this. There is Bren Stepp right there, resident from Jackson. She is also like the regional liaison for
Yes.
Lieutenant Governor John Euston. So
Yes.
she stays very busy with that work.
She does.
But and very nice person as well.
Yes, she
Organized a nice meeting, if indeed she was the chief person in charge of that. I think she was. But they had a good crowd there. Parks Edge Event Center is a big area, and a lot of the tables were full. So it was a good thing for the party. And the big theme, of course, as you might guess, the 2024 general election looking ahead.
Makes sense.
On the federal level, we'll go to this picture right here. The man on the right, some people may not recognize him, but they probably will here in the future as the months wind down to the November 5 general election. That is David Taylor. He is the Republican nominee for 2nd District Congressman. He is the man who won the 11-person race in the primary. Remember all
Yeah.
those people running?
Yeah, that was
They
wild.
all want to succeed Brad Winstrip, who is the current Republican congressman. He's been in there for more than 10 years. He decided last year and announced he would not be running for re-election. So, David Taylor, there on the right, did win the primary election. He will be up against the Democratic nominee, Samantha Meadows, in the November 5th general election. The 2nd congressional district covers almost all of southern Ohio, the southernmost sliver of southern Ohio, from the suburbs east of Cincinnati all the way to the river. And Jackson and Vinton counties are included. Now, he is pictured with Larry Kidd, Jackson resident and businessman Larry Kidd in the middle, and Larry's wife, Dr. Cindy Kidd. The reason they're in the picture is, of course, they are well known in Jackson County. Larry was a candidate for Congress, as was David Taylor, and he did very well. He finished 3rd in that 11-person race.
Yeah,
And-
he did.
And one of the things that happened during the Lincoln Day dinner is Larry Kidd made it a point. He was one of the speakers. He endorsed David Taylor for the election in November. Not a surprise there, but Larry Kidd, as you might guess, easily won the Jackson County vote. 11 people running, he received 58% of the vote in Jackson County.
Wow.
Jackson County is a strong Republican county, and so Larry was removing any doubt that he is giving blessing to David Taylor's campaign for Congress in Jackson County. And David Taylor thanked Larry Kidd for his support and said that actually his family, he and his wife became good friends with Larry and Cindy Kidd and their son Alex, who helped with the campaign.
Yeah.
And so, it was, we're all together in this,
awesome.
as you might guess. But they talked about David Taylor talked about the 2024 election. In Jackson County, we have no contested races for county government seats. So the focus is definitely on the federal government. As we know, we're going to be electing a president in 2024. Either Joe Biden get reelected or Donald Trump will probably be the nominee on the Republican side. And then you also have majorities that are on the line in the U.S. Senate and in the U.S. House. And obviously, you want to be the president, but you also want to have the majorities in the House and Senate. And as we know, we're polarized. We're split. we have a Democratic president, we have a Republican Senate, and we have a Democratic U.S. House of Representatives. And, they don't often agree on things, do they?
No.
Surprise, surprise.
What?
So David Taylor was talking about more than even his own campaign, because it is pretty much a Republican district. It is an uphill battle for Samantha Meadows, and nothing against her. That's just what the numbers.
It is what it is.
That's what the numbers say. But what David Taylor was saying is, we've got to elect Donald Trump as Republicans. We've got to keep our majority in the Senate, and it's razor thin, like 51 to 49. And I'm sorry, it's the other way around. The Democrat has the majority in the Senate, 51 to 49, and the Republicans have a very narrow majority in the House as well. And so a lot of focus on Congress, both the Senate and the House. So on the Senate side, both Brent Stepp and David Taylor mentioned the U.S. Senate race. Democrat Sherrod Brown has been a multi-term incumbent. He is running for re-election against Bernie Moreno, who won a three-way Republican primary back in March. And so you're gonna hear a lot more about that race as well. Important for
it's getting
Ohio,
exciting.
but important for the federal government as well. And here is one of the things that the Republicans are saying. If you watch a lot of the national news and you listen to the talking heads, you hear this. But, more and more people are voting early. The Republicans feel that when they have fallen short, one of their downfalls is they are not taking advantage of early voting the way the Democrats are. Statistics show that more Republicans come out on Election Day, but more Democrats come out early. And so both David Taylor and Brent Stepp are telling Republicans, hey, listen, go out and vote early. Or you take advantage of it if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
David Taylor had an interesting stat that really maybe underscores the importance of early voting. And how they get this, I don't know, but it must be from some survey or poll or whatever. Because some people still consider Election Day kind of preferential and almost sacrosanct. Let's just vote on Election Day because that's the way it's always been. Even though, you can still do that, go to the polls like it always has been in the past. David Taylor says statistics show that of the people who plan to vote on Election Day and are committed to it, they eschew the early voting or the absentee voting. 28% actually do not make it to the polls because something happens. Maybe the weather, some personal situation, whatever.
Just don't feel like it that day.
Or maybe they're not as committed, but
Yeah.
they did intend to vote, but they don't. 28%. So that can make a difference. And that is a personal choice, of course.
Yes.
But we will be having a full report on the Jackson County Republican Lincoln Day dinner in our Wednesday paper.
Awesome.
Okay, we have a good guy to give a salute to, and that is Jackson County Veteran Service Officer Arnold Tripp.
Yes.
Arnold has been the Veteran Service Officer in Jackson County for 21 years. Here is a picture that was taken Thursday at a reception in Arnold Tripp's honor at the Jackson VFW chapter office. No, I'm sorry, the DAV. It was at the DAV on Pearl Street, the Disabled American Veterans chapter. That is Arnold on the right, and that is his successor, Jackson County Veterans, the new Jackson County Veteran Service Officer, Scott King on the left, and in the middle is the longtime Veteran Service Officer Administrator, Jennifer Pittman. And they are presenting his framed service uniform to him as a keepsake. Isn't that nice?
That is super cool.
Well, we ran that picture in our Saturday paper. He deserves so much credit. Arnold is very well liked and respected in the veterans community and by the veterans organizations. And technically, I think he goes until July, but because of time off and like that, it's basically Scott King's job now. But we are going to be doing an interview. Alex Shope, who does a great job on feature stories, is going to be interviewing Arnold Tripp, and we'll have a more in-depth story on him and, what makes him tick and why he did what he did. Because, he was a longtime Marine, and after he got out, he still wanted to serve veterans. And so just a good guy, Arnold Tripp. We want to congratulate him. All right, another thing that we want to talk about, Jennifer, this is a big thing in the city of Jackson, and that is the brick streets. Mm-hmm. We don't have very many brick streets left in the city of Jackson. Here is one of them. That is, do you recognize that? The Apple Tower in the background. That is Church Street, and you see the brick pavement there. Church Street is brick, and a section of Columbia Street is brick. That is the last two ones. I covered the May 13th City Council meeting, and it turned out to be pretty important for the brick streets. Both of those brick streets were the sections that are still brick were on the paving list to be paved over this year.
So here's an interesting fact about this, Pete. I was they're doing, of course, some work and curbs and all that stuff, and we have an office there on Pearl Street, right beside the DAV. And as I was walking down there the other day, they were digging part of that street up, and I realized they had paved over the bricks there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as they were digging, there's like a bazillion bricks underneath it.
Right. Well,
And I was like, oh,
I mean, if you turn the clock back,
been a minute, but I remember now that being a brick street.
right, you're young, of course, young and beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm old and not so beautiful, and I remember when there were lots more brick streets in Jackson. But if you go back to our grandfathers and great-grandfathers, there's brick streets all over the place.
Everywhere.
The great thing about brick streets are the bricks are a little bit more permanent than asphalt and even concrete, but they are more costly and difficult to replace and repair when you need to do that. And there has been kind of like a move in Jackson, kind of like steadily over the last 20 years to pave over the brick streets. Well, there were two left, and we were going to lose them this year. However you feel about brick streets, or maybe you don't care about brick streets, but two members of Jackson County Moving Forward, that new progressive civic improvement group in Jackson, we need to really do a story on so people know all the good things they're doing.
And how to participate in it.
Right. Two representatives came to that council meeting and made a pitch to save the brick streets. They thought that it's just, part of the culture and character of Jackson. And can't we save them? Well, it was on the administration's list to pave over those streets because one of the problems is you've got utility lines underneath the streets, so that causes a problem when you've got to address utility lines on brick streets or any streets. You got to dig into them and then replace the brick or whatever.
They are, yes, they're
right.
expensive
So there
to
are
repair.
practical economic issues involved as well as the cultural character, historical. But these two representatives, Jackson County Moving Forward, pitched it out there. At the end of the meeting, the council had made no comment about what was on the paving list and what wasn't. No one seemed to make it an issue one way or the other about keeping the brick streets. At the end, there was a motion made to keep those two brick streets for now and not pave them. And it was a voice vote, but I didn't hear any nays. And so for at least this year, those two streets, brick streets, were removed from the paving list. And the administration, Mayor Randy Evans, he says, hey, listen, it's council's call and the public's call for that matter. And they are going to look into the practical aspects to it and let council know that if they keep the brick streets, here's what we're going to have to do and how much it will cost to replace the brick and if we have to dig it up and all like that. So that's going to be addressed, and maybe the decision will be different for practicality purposes next year. But this year, for now, the brick streets will remain.
Here's the thing. You can't undo it once you do it. So if we can put it off for a minute, investigate it, then fine.
Right, exactly. So we will see what happens there. But for now, the brick streets are preserved. And when the Jackson County Moving Forward reps were at the meeting, they said that they put petitions out for people to sign at several different businesses, and they got a couple hundred in just a very short time.
I can imagine.
So you didn't hear a lot of uproar about this, but I guess it got on the table kind of quick and quietly, and there are people that would keep the brick streets. So I'll ask you, what do you think? I know you're a practical person, but you also have respect for culture and character and history.
I do. And I think one of the very, very important things that make small towns special are things like brick streets and downtown buildings that have all of this ornate detail that, you just don't have anymore. So if it could be saved, and honestly, if they're done properly, they'll last forever. So I don't know. If it could be saved and it's a practical thing, cool. I think it should be done. And I know there was talk about, with some of the grant money, maybe incorporating some of the bricks into like the intersections and things like that. That would be cool too, if we could do, something like that, even something in small doses that would bring that character, of a small town and our hometown back to life. I think that.
Well, the city of Jackson received in the APG money a lot of money for downtown streetscape, whatever that is. We'll to figure out what that is,
see.
but that could result in some decorative touches to the downtown.
Like that, and if you could,
Maybe
utilize
small
that,
sections of brick, and that's just me speculating now.
it would be super cool. Do you remember? I remember this plain as day when we were, fourth, fifth, sixth grade, all of us out riding our bikes around and whatever. High Street was like all brick, and it was super bumpy. And it was like the most fun thing ever to ride your bike down that street because you could like ramp over things and whatever. So we liked it.
Right.
People driving cars probably not so much, but we thought it was fun.
Right. Well, if you turn the clock back several years, on the other side of the coin, we remember when they paved over the Main Street Hill there from Portsmouth
I
Street.
remember
Now,
that.
you remember how bumpy that
Yes,
was?
it was bad.
I mean, something needed to be done. The bricks needed to be repaired or something. And I didn't hear a big hue and cry then. I don't remember. Maybe you do because of, being a businesswoman
Yeah,
with a building
it was-
right there on Main Street.
It was a
But-
little rough for a minute, but of people trying to get in and out and whatever.
Well, I know it was inconvenient there for motorists and the
No,
businesses, but
I heard a few things, but really, I think that street was in such bad shape
That-
that
that-
people were kind of welcoming the change.
yeah, they got a grant and all, and it was pretty bad. But a couple other things, because I know we've got another person here coming on Main Street TV. The American Legion Post 371 in Wellston. I can't say enough for what they do, not only for veterans, but as a community organization. On Friday evening, I was at the Legion Post there on South Pennsylvania Avenue where they had a flag retirement ceremony. What was Friday? What holiday was Friday, Jennifer? Not a federal holiday, but it's a red letter day on a lot of calendars.
Why do I
Flag
not?
Day.
Was it Flag Day?
It was Flag Day, June the 14th.
How did I not know that?
Right. A lot of the so-called
Like,
flag retirement ceremonies are done on Flag Day.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so it was at the Wellston American Legion Post. And the proper way to dispose an American flag that is no longer serviceable
Yes.
and is tattered and it's a shame to fly a flag like that is to burn it, believe it or not. You
strangely enough,
you
yeah.
don't throw it away, you burn it, and that is what is happening right there. There is a group of flags there in that little pile and that little
But
pile where
done
it's
in
being
a
burned.
respectful manner, not as a
ceremony,
protest manner. or anything.
a formal ceremony is done. I
Yeah.
saw that being done. I've seen it before, but it's a nice ceremony, and so that took place at the Wellston American Legion Post on Friday evening. Okay, we also want to tell you the 4th of July is coming soon. It's
you
right
believe
there
it?
around the corner. We will have celebrations in MacArthur, in Wellston, in Jackson, in Oak Hill, in Wilkesville. But we want to tell you that part of the Vinton County celebration, which is done by the Athletic Boosters, is the Miss Vinton County contest and the Little Miss Vinton County contest. We had a story in Saturday's paper. We're going to repeat the information in Wednesday's paper. It's also online, of course. The sign-ups for the Little Miss and the Miss Vinton County contest is this Wednesday, so we wanted to fit that into our report. It'll be this Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the high school. So if you're interested in being a candidate for either Miss Vinton County, which is kind of like the teenage girls, or Little
Yeah.
Miss, the little girls.
Okay.
Sign-ups are this Wednesday, and there's other information about how to be a candidate as well. But your first sign-up opportunity is this Wednesday at Vinton County High School. And the other thing we want to tell you about, Jennifer, is that Wednesday is Juneteenth Day. We're still getting used to that. That is a new federal holiday.
Yes.
This is only the second year that we've had it. And of course, that centers around a belated end of slavery in Texas. We had those amendments that were passed in 1863, or I'm sorry, in 1865, freeing the slaves and also making them citizens and all like that. Well, in Texas, it was belated. Slavery kind of continued unofficially till June 19th, 1865. And that's what this is. It's a celebration of the end of slavery in
Yes.
Texas and therefore everywhere, because that was supposedly was the last place. So that is why Juneteenth, which is kind of a version of June 19th.
Yes.
I'm not sure of the derivation of that. But anyway, because that is a federal holiday, we are going to have to put our Wednesday edition of the Telegram out a day early. So
Yes.
it's going to come out tomorrow. It will be marked as the Wednesday, June 19th paper, but it will show up on June the 18th. And the reason that we have to do that is there's no mail delivery
Yes.
on Wednesday. All of our local subscribers get the paper in the mail, and we don't want them to get Wednesday's paper on Thursday, so they're going to get Wednesday's paper on Tuesday. Is that straight?
Yes.
And we're going to
Got it.
have to finish that today.
I was going to say, as you sit here and I'm forcing you to do news while you're trying to get a paper out.
Yeah. Well,
So thank you.
No, that's okay. We're working on it, but the paper will be on the newsstands too,
Yes.
and in the newspaper boxes and all like that. And the stories that we would have had online on Tuesday afternoon for Wednesday will actually be online earlier. Everything is just pushed a day ahead of time. By the way, our offices here at Total Media, which include the Telegram, the radio, Main Street TV, Zip Printing, all in the Stockmeister Plaza building, we will be open as usual on Wednesday. And also, we want to tell you that it's a mixed bag for governmental offices. They have not all got it lined up, so they're closed on Wednesday. Most of them are, but some are not.
Yeah, just
And
call ahead
it
of
would
time.
take a little. It would take me too much time because we've got another person coming on to tell you about it. But we've got that listed online, and it was in the paper on Saturday. But if the office is closed, normally it's going to affect the garbage service. But in Jackson, that is the exception. City offices will be closed, but because of personnel, they're going to have to run the garbage as usual on Wednesday.
Yes.
All right. So I
you
will
go.
I will take my leave now. And once again, if you have seen the bear since Thursday evening, please let us know.
Yeah, let us know where he is now, as I'm assuming he's headed toward Gallipolis.
Right. Absolutely.
So you would think.
Okay. It'll be Gallia County's problem.
Gallia County's
Or,
bear.
or Gallia County's blessing, whichever way you want to look at it.
Exactly.
Does create a little excitement, doesn't it?
It is, and it's like, as long as nothing happens or he gets hurt, it's fine.
All right. Okay. Well, we will see you later in the week,
Get
probably.
your paper put out, Pete.
All right,
Thank you
you.
so much. All right, Hayden. Oh, God. Do we want to do this weather forecast? Come on in. If we have to do this weather forecast, I guess we can. Come on in. So here's the deal. It's going to be super duper duper hot, and it's going to suck really bad for a week. So be careful and don't be outside if you don't have to. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. Been better, been worse. But right now, this moment, we're really doing it.
We're doing this. We're doing it. And well, okay. So here's the thing. Tanya typically brings in interns. So you are the world's oldest intern.
Yes, I was out there. I was out there doing community service, and she was like, "Hey, give it a break." You know, it's a lifestyle, not a hobby. So
No.
this is the studio, huh?
Yeah. Welcome.
Feels good.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know,
Yes. Our good friend Jay Snyder stopped by, and thank you for being here. And so you have been hanging out here for a little while now, but they
Yeah.
put you, kind of in the cave with Rodney.
Yeah,
Because we don't let him out.
I've noticed that he's
Yeah.
very pale.
So if you are working with Rodney, that means you get locked up with him.
Yes, we're starting to get some of the same mannerisms. My voice is getting a little deeper. You know,
yeah,
I don't know. I
twitchy
like
at
it though.
times.
A little twitchy.
Little twitchy. Yeah, I like it though because I can just, push things to the line and then he cleans it up. He's been doing it long enough to where,
He's like, oh God, he said that. Okay, well, how am I gonna get out?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, normally he just laughs, so I'm like, oh, all right.
That's where I come in.
Yeah, right.
I'm there for.
Tanya will be
yeah.
the voice of reason.
Yeah, if that's
Sort of.
the sad state of affairs when that's our beacon.
I know. Well, she looked at me this morning and said, well, Jay's going to come in. He was worried about, like how far, like, should he go or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's what she
Jen.
said. She's like, no, you're good over there.
yeah, like you're talking to two girls that can't be offended very easily.
Right.
So
Ooh, is that a challenge? All right.
yeah, go
Yeah.
for it.
No.
Yeah, it kind of is a child. Yeah.
Rodney's not here to clean it up for me.
No, that's right. That's right. So, Jay, you have been hanging out here for a little while, talking with Rodney and whatnot. And but tell everybody kind of a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, born and raised right here in Jackson. Moved to Dayton. Started doing stand-up comedy up there.
How'd you get into that?
Well, my wife at the time was got a job serving at the Dayton Funny Bone, so I was always just going in watching the shows for free and everything. And then after a little while, you're like, well, I think I'm funnier than this guy, and then the natural progression is to do the open mic, and then we hit. Then they always have contests, and I won a couple contests, and you win hosting spots, and then it just kind of
So on
took
and so
off.
forth.
Yeah, it kind of took off, and now here we are.
You've been doing some traveling too recently, correct?
Yeah. Well, I kind of getting cabin fever through the winter, so I took the last couple months off to get my fishing in, get all that out of my system.
I hear you.
By the way, I did catch a 5-pound bass a couple weeks ago.
Nice job.
No brag, but may or may not have been trespassing.
Not important.
That's
Did
neither
you,
here
did
nor
you
there.
not have your fishing license?
I did have a fishing license, not a driver's license, but hey, baby steps, right?
Right.
I can't drive anywhere, but I can fish anywhere legally in the state of Ohio. So
Hey, there you go. So we were talking about this the other day in the kitchen at Six Sense Brewing, and someone brought up the fact that you literally have to have a license to fish in the state of Ohio, but not buy weed. And I was like,
Oh wow, I know that's absolutely correct.
or
Yeah.
carry a gun.
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's your constitutional right. So that's your permit. There is the U.S. Constitution.
But just recently.
Easy. Put the boot knife down. Wow.
Right.
Sorry.
No, seriously.
That's the Crabtree in me.
The what was that called? Concealed carry permit. You don't even have to have that anymore. But you have to have a license to fish. So
Yeah, that's a little. I mean, a hunting.
We got it going to get. We got it going on here in Ohio politically. So.
yeah, I'm just saying it's kind of weird. But whatevs.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking the other day, with the price of groceries and everything. I don't know why this sparked this thought, but I mean, the price of you own a restaurant, the prices of food and everything, and I'm thinking it's almost
It's a lot.
cheaper to just take a chance and steal it and pay the court costs. I mean,
Do not take that bit of advice, by the way. Do not go
that was
steal
the first
it.
time I said it out loud. In my head, it sounded. I'll be honest, I thought you guys were gonna laugh. You didn't. It made it real weird in here. Hey, did you feel that energy just down over there?
As we both go,
Yeah.
Yeah, do not take that bit of advice.
I mean, you can, just don't tell anyone you heard it here.
Oh, this is being recorded.
Oh.
Oh, is that right? Well, you should have told me
Edit that out, please.
Shoot.
Edit that whole.
Hayden, do we have a dump button in this,
Yeah.
in this forsaken place?
Yeah. Just wait till the end and just dump it all at once. Save
Yeah.
yourself.
Just,
Yeah.
just wipe her all out. It's fine.
Wait a minute, Monday didn't happen here. What are you talking about?
Right. I don't know what.
We decided to
remember our show on
delete
Monday.
Monday this week. That's who we are.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's worth a try.
So no, that's so cool. So you just, we're just hanging out and the Funny Bone. You're like, yeah, I think that I'm funnier than that guy. Cool. And you just started doing comedy.
Yeah, started doing comedy. And like I said, then you get into contests because they're always trying to get everyone to bring more people, and that's the best way. And so if you win a contest, then you get, say, a hosting spot for the weekend. And you'll do that several times, and then you move up to feature, and then. But so I got lucky and won my first year in comedy. I won the funniest person in Dayton, Cincinnati, and Columbus. So I won.
Nice.
I won spots in all those clubs, and so my first year I had a foot in the door already, and
Yeah.
so and then I just kept getting booked, and then
The rest is history.
the rest is history.
You have a
Now
show.
he's out stealing
Groceries.
groceries.
Hey, it could be converters, but no, I'm going with
Pork loin.
pork loin. Yeah.
What's in his pants? A pork loin.
Oh my God, is that a pork loin or is it? Oh my God. Yeah. Easy, you guys are embarrassed. You guys are embarrassing me now.
It's just Jay with the pork loin in his
Wow.
balls again.
Yeah, I'm walking around like
Ew.
yeah, I'm walking around like I'm blessed, and I'm thinking for one reason, everyone else is thinking for another one.
Okay.
All right.
So where do you come up with material?
Well, I mean, I've had I've had a lot of life experience, and so I use most of that, I've been on some. I used to be a heathen. I still am a little
I was
little
gonna say
bit. So-
used to be.
Yeah, so I use mostly as like, legal things and jail
Illegal
stories
things.
and jail stories. I feel like everybody's got.
My favorite story is his lifetime suspension off the school bus at age 10.
Wait, stop.
Oh, man,
How
look,
did that-
I'm trying to outgrow this.
What
all right,
could you possibly have done at
it's really only one thing. I'll give you 3 guesses. I covered the bus driver's eyes.
While she was driving.
Why is she driving? Well, what else would she be doing? If she wasn't driving, then she's just a passenger at that point. But yeah, I mean,
you
there's
just
room for
walked
improvement.
up and
No,
were like,
no, well, it wasn't just that.
No,
So,
it was-
so I would sit in the back of the bus with the older guys. I was in elementary school, but I was always
if you're
making.
a cool kid, you sit in the back of the bus. You don't sit in the front of the bus.
You're right. You're back
mean,
there
come
with
on.
all the. I mean, back in the '80s, you're back there with the jean jackets
Yes.
and the rat tails, the rat tails and the unibrows. Yeah. So I'd sit back there and I was always making everybody laugh and everything. And it got a little carried away, so the bus driver moved me up front, and I go, I know how to remedy this. Boom. It was just real quick, but it really doesn't matter. The length, it's the presence
Of the hand over the
hand
eyes.
over the eye is the problem, yes. And so, so it's been, that was middle school. Only bus I've been on since then is Greyhound, and I'm even more ashamed of that. Have you ever been on a Greyhound?
Yeah, when I was little.
Oh my God! Oh yeah, I did this as an adult. A few years ago, I went from Dayton to
Stop.
Syracuse, New York,
For a
on a
show?
Greyhound. Took 7 months. I was not prepared for that. So.
You could have run faster.
Yes, and it was crazy because I didn't know. I just thought you got on the bus and you go, but they have layovers. So we.
Wait, stop like an
Yes.
airplane?
Yes. It was crazy. So we leave Dayton. I don't know that there's a layover. I think we're just on the road. So we leave Dayton. We go to Columbus, have a 4-hour layover there, 40 minutes from my house. So now I'm just sitting there. There's a lady with like a little baby inside this little
Ouch, yeah.
pouch, and she just blowing smoke in this baby's. I was like, "Dang, baby, you all right?" She's like, "I'll make it." So then, and so I was like, "Wow, this is crazy." So then we get on the bus. They overbooked the bus. So now I have to sit in the aisle on the floor, all the way to Mansfield. I'm sitting beside this redheaded Amish dude who's never been in public, I don't think, because, it just got carried away. So each bus stop gets worse and worse. You get to the Cleveland bus stop, you're
But
like,
you haven't even met out of Ohio yet.
No,
You're like
no.
hours in.
oh yeah, it's a whole trip worth in already. And so
You could have been to New York by
I
then.
could have definitely been to New York. So we stop at Cleveland. You're like, there's no way that any bus station is filthier than this. And then you go to Buffalo. And then you're like, all right, Cleveland, I owe you an apology. But yeah, it was crazy.
Cleveland.
So, but I mean, I guess it's nice if you like people watching and cold sores. Yes, I encourage you to go for it by all means.
That's when I would have considered actually putting my hands over the bus driver's
I was
eyes.
gonna say, did you or did you not?
No. The bus drivers on these Greyhounds, they do not mess around. I think they're allowed just to the taser you. They don't mess around. They have bad attitudes.
Well, wouldn't you?
I mean, I did. Yeah, I did.
If you had to deal with that day in and day out?
Man, it's the bus people were different. It's a different muscle.
You know, you can get on an airplane in Ohio and be in New York in like an hour and a half.
Well, that's too simple, safe, and efficient, and that's not what we're
saying.
looking for. Yeah, I think
It's a thing.
He does these life experiences for stories for his
Man,
Mike
I tell you,
nights.
it was crazy. So we travel all the way. It was like an 18-hour trip or something like that
Oh, for the love of
to
God.
go do shows all weekend, and then you have shows and everything's good, and then
You got to figure out how to get home.
well, no, I was I knew I was going back on the bus, but actually I jumped on the bus and went to my buddy's place in Boston, and then I did fly to Cleveland from there.
Oh, smart.
I should have stayed at the Buffalo bus stop. Oh, that Cleveland airport. Oh God. No, I'm just
I've never been to the Cleveland airport.
No desire.
bad. Well, they back then you used to be able to get direct flights to Boston for pennies if you book them out far enough.
Yeah.
Which I didn't do. But yeah, anyway, stay in school,
They're like-
kids. Do not get on the Greyhound.
Yeah.
Think it through.
So not only are you doing some of our radio shows with all of the radio stations that we have, you're kind of jumping around from studio to studio.
Yes,
You're also touring right now.
I am.
And your next stop is where?
The next up is this weekend, Saturday at the Dayton Funny Bone. But the first guy that I ever opened for, John Morgan, is there, so he invited me up to do a spot with him. And,
Nice.
Awesome.
And the first time that I opened for him, the feature act was Nikki Glazer, which everybody knows from the roast of Tom Brady. She was like the breakout. So that's how long ago it was. Nikki wasn't even headlining constantly yet. She was still doing a lot of feature stuff.
Thanks, Tom Brady. It's the one good thing you did for somebody.
Of the roast or Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
Yeah, I don't really
Sorry,
like. I don't
not
like.
a fan.
Yeah, me neither. Or anybody else that's doing better than me. Anyway, yeah, I'm with you.
And is married or was married to, a supermodel. But,
Yeah.
Well, it's insane that she was the breadwinner of the family. He's like the greatest quarterback of all time. She's like, hey, come on,
I
man,
got this.
get out of the way.
Yeah, I need you to go ahead and get out of my way. Yeah.
She opens the door for him to get in the car. It's
Yeah.
like, I'll drive.
I just don't understand why you sign up for a roast to be held on like basically national TV and then whine about it the next day.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
aware of that.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, he was a big baby.
big baby.
And he didn't even really get it that bad. I mean,
I just didn't think about my kids and
well, yeah, no kidding.
Well,
That's
what's
why,
right?
new?
that's why you took the last contract in Tampa Bay. Yes. Anyway, man. Oh.
Well, before we run out of time, what's the rest of your summer schedule?
yeah, what
So
are
we
you
got
doing?
Dayton Funny Bone this Saturday. Then we got the Grove of Pike County on June 28th.
Wait, where's that?
It's in
Grove?
Pike. It's the Grove. I've never been there.
Oh, it's-
my buddy Carlin Haggerty
Is
told
it
me
like
it's going to
a
be pretty wild.
Indoor venue.
They have indoor, outdoor.
Oh,
Super easy right off of 32, right before you get to 23.
It's going to be a good show.
why
So
have I not heard of this?
I don't know. It's just like it's a little shop, but they over the summer last year they built the outdoor. We'll have to get Mr. Clemens in to talk about it.
Yeah, awesome.
well, you guys can just follow me down there.
I
Saturday
will
the
go. I will
28th.
be there. I will be there. That sounds like a great time.
And then Saturday, August 24th, just booked the Paxson Theater in Bainbridge, Ohio. And that's
Okay.
with our friend Lori Graves and Mackenzie Reutinger. So
Nice.
that's what we've got now.
If you guys can get to Dayton this weekend, you should. It is so much fun to watch Jay on stage. I mean, I have a great time just sitting at a desk and laughing. But he is phenomenal on stage. He's got a great following. His comedic friends are phenomenal people as well.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance, definitely go see him or listen to us on the radio.
Yeah.
That
or
too.
both. I mean, you don't have to choose.
All of the above. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
All of the
Let's
above.
not limit ourselves.
Yeah.
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 So, all right, well, come back and see us.
I would love to.
Yeah, let's
Am I
talk
allowed back in
about-
the Am I allowed back in the building?
So far, yes.
I think so.
All right.
I think Tanya and I got in more trouble than you did.
Oh, no,
know,
I'm
that
talking about
pork loin.
because I just took them. Yeah. Yeah.
That was
No,
great.
that's how nicknames
that
get
was-
started. Yeah. There goes the loin. The loin king.
Porterhouse and pork loin in the morning. Get your pork and your steak.
God,
Yeah, have your pork and eat it too.
stop. Yep, all of that.
I don't know.
Okay.
Who goes next?
We're like 36 seconds over
Yeah,
our
now
time.
we need to go. Hayden has died over there. I don't think he's breathing at this point. So we will get out of here for the day. Hopefully a special visit from president of the University of Rio Grande, Ryan Smith.
Awesome.
Will be tomorrow. So they've got like 7 million things going on.
They do.
At Rio. Super duper cool. So I can't wait to talk to him and find out all the fun things. So Jay, it's really good talking to
It
you.
was great talking to you too. Thanks for having
Come
me.
back and see us anytime.
I'll be back
And-
tomorrow.
He's a great filler.
Yes, he is. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then. Stay cool, everybody.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
See ya.